Next, we're going to talk about trade rumors. I get really excited every time I wish you guys knew how to do it. It's so easy, and it took me quite literally like 3 hours to figure out how to just do that little bottom thing. And now I'm so impressed with myself. Um, I shouldn't be. It should have taken me 10 minutes. I'm just an 80-year-old woman and don't know how to work a computer. So the trade rumors that I saw was Patrick Surtain. His dad was on social media, super unhappy with with the position he's in Denver, which I totally agree. They got blown out by the Dolphins, and they've just looked terrible. Speaking of teams just paying quarterbacks that they shouldn't have, I mean, I was all for it. I feel like I'm a sucker. Russell Wilson killed the Niners every year that he could, and every year he's had the opportunity. So I understand why they paid him, but damn, that looks bad in hindsight, doesn't it? They have Sean Payton now. I wonder what they're gonna do. They guaranteed Russ a ton of that money. Are they gonna get rid of Payton? Or they're just gonna draft another quarterback? Interesting. But Patrick Surtain doesn't want any of that bullshit. He wants to be on a team and he wants to win a Super Bowl. And he's only 23 years old. So if the Niners traded for him, he could be around for a long time. He'd be expensive eventually. And by eventually I mean pretty soon. I think he's up for a contract in like the same year that Ayuk would be. Maybe not. Maybe a year after that. So the Niners might have to choose between Surtain and Ayuk. And if they traded for Surtain, obviously they would be choosing Surtain. Um, I don't know. Corners are really important. Corners are really important. And we have a lot of good skill position players. Imagine Charvarius Ward being the number 2 corner. That could be beautiful. And Surtain, I feel like Surtain would be so good. Now the only thing is I think you'd have to trade like a first and more for him. And the Niners, that offensive line is so bad. And they're finally getting a number 1. This is going to be their first year with a number 1 since the Trey Lance trade. So I don't think that they'd be willing to give away the first number 1 pick that they've had in years to trade for Surtain. So I don't think that that'll happen, but it could be nice. It could be nice to have him. But I think I would not. You want an offensive lineman. As a fan, we want the flashy players, obviously, but it doesn't matter if you have Surtain if your quarterback is broken. So we need to fix up that offensive line. I don't think that the Niners will trade for him because you got to protect Purdy, um, or none of this matters. It doesn't matter how many good corners you have if you don't have a quarterback to throw the ball, or if your quarterback is Sam Darnold. No offense, Sam Darnold. Why are you on the team? I'm gonna regret that if Purdy ever gets injured and Darnold just comes out and plays good because Kyle. Um, Earlier I was talking about Nick Mullins and how he's like on that scoreboard with Patrick Mahomes and the records he's broken. And it's just like, no, it's just that Kyle is really good at scheming his quarterbacks up. So I feel like I could eat my words someday if Sam Darnold does come in. I can see Kyle making him look good, but still would rather have Brock Purdy healthy and not have Patrick Surtain than have Patrick Surtain. If there was a way to get him for like the CMC package where you gave away some force and like more down the line or some seconds and then like more down the line, that would be amazing. But Denver would never do like, why would Denver do that? They definitely could get a first and they'll probably get like a first and a second for Surtain if they even let him go. So I definitely don't think that the Niners really have a chance at him. But just just the idea of it would be nice. And I heard that rumor, so I just wanted to address it. The other one that I heard was Davante Adams for a mid-season trade. He obviously wants to win a Super Bowl. He went to the Raiders for Derek Carr, and then they traded Derek Carr away the same year. That's messed up. Man, I don't know why you would put your faith in the Raiders. I kind of feel like that's Davante Adams' fault. Like, who purposely tries to go to the Raiders and then is surprised when you're getting screwed over and getting hospital balls from Jimmy G? Dang. I wonder if Aiden O'Connor will come. Aiden O'Connell, that's how you say his name, will come in for Jimmy G eventually. And that will make Davante Adams more happy, maybe, but not really. Because I think Davante Adams, didn't he not want to stay in he didn't want to stay in with the Packers when he thought that Aaron Rodgers was going to retire because he didn't want to be with Jordan Love because he was like, I don't have that much more time left. I want to put up big numbers and win a Super Bowl with the rest of my career, and I want to have someone steady for like 10 years. And instead, he went to the Raiders. They traded away Carr, and now he's kind of like stuck in this irrelevant, terrible situation. So I definitely bet he would want to come to the Niners. The Niners have 12 Pro Bowlers at wide receiver. Obviously, that's an exaggeration, but they have so many good skill guys. If they could get Davante Adams, I'm sure they would love him, and Davante Adams would love that, and everyone would just have to deal with getting even less targets. Um, they definitely wouldn't re-sign Ayuk if they did something like that. Um, but I mean, if they had Davante Adams, I feel like fans would be okay with them letting Ayuk go. But I just don't think that that's going to happen. Once again, I think both of those trade rumors are a little bit too hopeful. I think they're fun for fans to think about, but just not super realistic in the way that the Niners have gone about organizing